All right, Grand Rising and welcome back. So again, this is going to be, we're revisiting the Wisdom of Solomon. And this is going to be chapter 2. And again, this is not your mama's Bible study because we know that his story lies. All right. And so we are just basically searching the word to see what we're really talking about here and finding things that happen past, present, and future are going to happen in the future, and things that have things to do with our ancestors, because this book is a history book in a sense, if you know how to read it. So again, it's talking about your ancestors in the Old Testament, in the Old World, and again, we look at it as New World, New Testament. Okay, and so the wicked. It says this is chapter 2 in the Apocrypha, and it says the wicked think this life short, and of no other. And of no life after this. Okay, therefore they will take their pleasure in this and conspire against the just. It's very tiny. What that is which doth blind them. Hold on. What that is which doth blind them. Wow. Wow. So again, the seeing of to knowing the reins, right? Is for God to realize, or a goddess to realize the reins that these people have, and again to be able to speak this stuff, and people are going to be wondering, wait, what, but how? But again, I feel like it is Source working wonders in these days. And that's just what I feel. So it says, for the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man, there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke. It's kind of like, remind me of smoke and mirrors. And little spark in the moving of our hearts, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. This makes me think, just during this whole journey, I feel like it makes me think that we are not the same person all the time. Like, I don't know, like I've noticed features, facial features, skin tone. I've noticed things change back and change. I don't know, it's something strange. And then also just thinking about it, even in the sense of, I definitely am not who I was 2 years ago. Like, I'm not even who I was 6 months ago or 2 months ago. And so again, I feel like even these senses, like when I was going through some of these obstacles and I was reading the text and certain things were happening to me on my body that resembled what was going on, especially when it comes to Ahaz or whatever. In that time when I felt some kind of way, like was having some kind of pain or something. And then it just so happened I was reading around that time the text, and I had to just kind of go, I had gotten a ride to the lake to go and just kind of walk amongst the lake. And it was just kind of funny because I was like, ooh, just take me somewhere, because I just needed, I just felt like it was a sense of something, and I just needed that healing or something from the water. And it's kind of like the same things that I was saying that day during the way I was feeling. It was the same things that was written in the text. Like, maybe not in the same exact words, but it just feels like sometimes there's energies that attach themselves, whether it's through bloodlines or whatever it would be, or for something in your life, like a portion of your awakening or your journey, that these souls or these energies, attach themselves to us in a sense to help us get through certain portions of our spiritual journey. And so that's why I'm saying, like, when I'm in the spirit of this or a spirit of Job, or, you know what I'm saying, I can just sense like the things that are going on, so I can then sense what source is trying to say, and then, you know, like that. So it's just saying it in that sense. But people are gonna, you know, some people are gonna make it seem like it's something like necromancy. Again, I did a breakdown on that a while back, and they're gonna make it seem like it's all these things, which, you know, it might be, but then is it in the light where they're trying to make it, or is this something that, again, we can't help? We're just in tune with it. Okay. And you're going to have to deal with these things once you're in a Christ consciousness, because, again, Christ was also around a lot of different people that people felt like he shouldn't be around or she shouldn't be around. But, again, it was a healing experience for all, I feel, in a sense, sometimes. So what does this say here? Okay. All right. So it says, for we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter. Okay. We did the smoke part already. A little spark moving of the heart, which being extinguished, our body shall turn into ashes, and our spirit vanish in as the soft air. And our name shall be forgotten in time. And no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as traces of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as the mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun. Okay. Wow, with the beams of the sun. Again, this is making me think, I know it says S-U-N here, but it's also making me think about like a light beam when it comes to the sun, the S-O-N, or the descendant, or descendants, right? And these people have a special light in them that I feel like you've had it all along, and certain energies on this plane already know that you've had it. So these are people that are sometimes, I feel, going to be the black sheep or the outcast in society or in their family. Again, but I just remember back to the scripture, I think it was in the Red Letter Bible, that he preserved or set some apart, right? So again, I call those the virgins in a sense, because they had not been penetrated by any type of religion. They may have been around it. They might have even went to church. They might have even did these things, but they were never penetrated, because Source was reserving those people, I think, for him to do the works that he wanted them to do at a certain appointed time. Call them star seeds or whatever you want to call them. We're still talking about the same thing. And it says, and overcome with that heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, for it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. Okay, so again, it just keeps saying no man, though, no man, and then I'm just thinking, who or what is man? It's not the earth. See? And so again, at these times, I think in Enoch and in other books, it's saying that they will not know these things. Whoever they are, you know, I don't know. And I don't know. And at this time, I'm not even trying to say that this has to do with your skin tone or anything. I'm just saying that it's just going to be the earth and certain offspring that are going to possess these powers, I think. Okay. So, but man, I think when it's talking about this, I think that there's a certain type. I think there's different species. We may think we look all alike on the outside, but I think there's different beings here. And they're not going to be green and everything like this. They're going to be looking just like us. Okay. But again, I feel like those people don't know, because they're not going to be, those would be the people that, I don't know, that can't see the good or don't want things to be godly. That bothers them, because they can't possess that light. So then they have to go to your light and extract from it. Which is why we have to be careful at this time about who we let around us and what type of energy we bring around. Like energy vampires is almost what I see. So again, they may be in positions where you think they may be powerful in a sense, but actually you possess the power, and they are drawn to you because of the power. And then there's other beings that do have the power, and they may be drawn to you because you're power, because you're supposed to be in some type of union to connect to be an even more superpower. But then I think some of these people just want to take the power. and make you feel some kind of way about yourself so that they can continue to do so, instead of adding to it and nourishing it in a reciprocal type of way. So I feel like test the spirit has to do with that. Especially, I'm talking to my feminine energies right now, because again, we are the ones that will be mounted. So when you're talking twin flame, or you're talking about that kind of connection, yes, it's also the connection from your higher to a lower self, right? But it's also, I think in these times, there is something also that may be tangible for some. And some just may be on that spiritual level. It's almost like nation building in the spiritual realm or in another dimension. Okay. All right. It says, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures. Oh, hold on. What did we just say? Let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with the costly wine or blood and ointments, and let us let no flower, I don't know why I'm thinking lotus, of the spring pass us by. So again, this is almost seeming like a take the women again. Yeah, I mean, the spring. Wow, the spring. That's the book that started this whole thing, y'all. Go back and look at the channel and look at the book, The Spring. And I've been wanting to go back to the book lately, but I just can't find it around the house. I don't know what the heck happened to it. But I just wanted to revisit it because it's just like something, it's like the never-ending story when I'm reading that book. Flower of the spring pass us by. And actually, you know, this is making me think about my soul sisters, those that are in tune and that are working somewhat magic, that are all of the other seers and readers out there that are, you know, true and, you know, really love what they do, and they do it for the people, and they overexhaust themselves, you know. And again, this is just, I just like to give thanks. And, you know, again, I wasn't even really aware of these empresses out there, but you know, it's now I'm looking like, and I don't like some of the energy that they're getting towards them because of the work that they do, because it's very healing and very cleansing, especially for women in this time, especially for divine masculine and feminine. So I think that it's just a beautiful thing. And I think that maybe this is talking about that in a sense, right? But there has to be a sense of still having some type of reign or control over it as well. So the energy is being sought after. So it says, let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. It's funny that, I don't know, War of the Roses and things lately. And again, you know, crown themselves with rosebuds, the flowers, before they be withered. So again, is this taking ye wives again? You know, it's just, I'm just saying, let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. For this is our portion, and our lot is this. The widow, okay? Non-reverence and ancient gray hairs of the aged. Let our strength be in law of justice. For that, so again, let their strength be in law of justice. Now again, what is this justice that needs to be served? And are we talking again about using man's law against those very flowers that might wither? They may not be so sweet anymore because of the treatment and the ill treatment of those flowers. And they think that somebody is going to use their power that was God given to do damage or harm. And I think that that is not the case. And I'm not saying that for everybody. You be careful, because if you weren't trying to do something to someone, I guess they wouldn't try to do it to you. But it's kind of sad when people don't dabble in any of that other stuff that is going to be harming someone, and for people to be able to be free to use them on them, or for people that would talk about this type of law, but they are using the very things that are negative towards individuals for their gain, knowing good and well that these people have no way of protecting them or not even aware of it at some point. But again, these women are going to be the ones that make you aware of it. And so again, they fear that because they don't want you to be able to be protecting yourself. They want you to not be able to protect yourself against defilement, sexual immoralities, or other immoralities and things like that that may happen. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean, contrary to our doings. Or she. And this reminds me of this. Let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he or she is not for our turn. So they're saying this person is not for their turn. And then it says, and he or she is clean, contrary to our doings. So this is somebody reflecting on their doings and said that these people are clean, or this person is clean, contrary to their doings. He or she upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objecteth to our infamy the transgressions of our education. And remember, education just means to lead out that what is natural, to lead out your way of thinking, and then to train you. He or she professes to have the knowledge of God. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and stand right up on in here and say that this is what energy in I'm right now. This is the energy that I'm in right now. And I'm not saying nobody else can't be. I can only tell you my story. Okay? And the objective to our infamy, the transgression of our education. He or she professes to have the knowledge of God, and he calleth himself or herself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold, for his life is not like other men's. Okay, so again, this is making me think about a divine masculine energy, actually. His ways are of another fashion. Okay. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth, okay, or idols even, fake. Wow. He abstaineth, right? Or this could be a female in her masculine energy. Really, it just made me go back around and say that. He or she abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that God is his father. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of God, which is the descendant of God, it doesn't have to be a man, it can be a female as well. He will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine how, and again, I'm looking at this and something just went through my mind as if, yeah, this will happen if we're talking a higher source or power, or even a living God on this earth, right? I'm thinking I'm seeing some type of submitting. And why, if, okay. Such things they did imagine and were deceived. Hold on, let's see, hold on. Okay, where we at? Because I think I went down too far. My finger moved. Okay, abstaining from their ways as from filthiness. Okay. And his boast that God is his or her father. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen to him in the end. For if the just man be the son of God, okay, the just man, right, or woman, I'm guessing, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him, unless God then got with his homies and feel some kind of way about him or her. And so let us examine him or her with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death. So again, is this what source is doing, or is this what man is doing? So there's a part that's just like, well, all of this stuff that's going on to you is because it's triggering something inside of you that blah, 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 blah. For me, I've been healing myself and dealing with myself for a very long time. I'm not saying that I don't have nowhere else to go, but I'm just really different. I just been built different, and everything in my life has happened for a reason to get me to this place, and nobody's going to be able to tell me different. Nobody's going to tell me that I don't love myself. I don't care what you think you see, it ain't happening. I'm here, hunty. I am here. And there's nobody in this world that can take that away from me. And so again, no matter what I dress like, look like, what you think I smell like, anything, it doesn't matter to me. Like, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what category you try to place me in, any of that. It just will never, ever matter to me. And it's not even being cocky. It's not being any kind of way. I don't look for anyone on this plane to justify or judge me. Only source can do that. So let us condemn him with a shameful death. And again, this death doesn't have to be a physical death. It could be a spiritual death. It could be a death in the house or this infrastructure, which if I have to lie, cheat, be mean, steal, or do anything to get into the heavens on this earth, then those heaven and earth will perish before me. That's the thought that I'm giving myself. That's the way that I feel. That's the way I'm living my life. That heaven and earth will pass away before that day. So keep it coming. Whatever you saying, it don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. Once I was aware of the reins, and I could see how far they'll take it if I don't comply. No, you're the one that should be coming to me, not leaving me out. It will benefit you best to do so on this plane. So I'm not searching anyone down. I am not begging for anybody to come. I know who I am. And what is mine will be mine, even if someone else thinks that they have it right now. For by his own saying he shall be respected. Such things they did imagine and were deceived. For their own wickedness hath blinded them. Till you do right by me. It's going back. You know how I send it back? If you're sending hate my way, I want you to get it back, but in love, actually. It's almost like I'm going to make you love me by Jennifer Hudson. That song. It is. And if you keep coming for me, I want you to get the same thing that you're sending. So just be careful. I can't have anyone take me out of my character, because if you do, then I'm not still going to be protected like I am. So that's why I don't hold grudges anymore, anything. I had to work through that. I had to work through that from a child, right? I had to work through that kind of stuff from a child, right? Okay, so although they want to blind me, in the end, they're going to be blindsided. Which reminds me of that show. I think it's called Blind Spot or Blind Side, something like that I wanted to watch a little bit of it. I wanted to try to see what that's really talking about. It says, as for the mysteries of God, they knew them not. Again, here's another part in the Bible where it's saying that they did not know them. And it could just be a beautiful relationship, but no, they'll rather keep me and others like me at a distance and try to trigger or tempt or make jealous with other energies. Neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness. Neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness. Let's see, because we talk a lot about wages and money making and hustling these days. I'm thinking for what? And unless it's for generational riches, I'm all for it. A wage, 13th century, or 13, yeah. A payment for service rendered, a reward, a just desert. Mid-14th century, a salary paid to a provider of services. Okay, so again, somebody's looking for some payment or some reward. And again, it says Old French here. We're dealing with another Germanic source, Old English, and a pledge or agreement. Again, in the other chapter, it said that they had taken an oath to harm. I feel they're talking about the Lord, right? A guarantee, a surety, a promise, a pledge to meet in battle, a payment for service. Allotments of money. Okay. Give something as surety, a pledge. Agreement to engage combat, wars, battles, campaigns. Loan, mortgage, wager, and wed, to pledge oneself. Okay, betroth or marry. These are related terms. A mortgage. That which is lent or owning. Okay, so again, they're paying attention. This is why there's so much surveillance in the world today. As for the mysteries of God, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness. They didn't want righteousness. Because again, these payments can be in love or in some kind of nurturing way, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls. For God created man. The earth was already there, right? The earth was first. A void and chaotic. Who they talking about? Who they talking about? when God began creating. The earth was first. That matter. For God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity, or hers. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil. So it reminds me of the thing we just seen the other day when it said, because the Son hath looked upon me. Envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. Nevertheless, the envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. So you can't have two masters. And it's hard. Idol worship is the downfall almost every time. And again, I'm not looking for, anything but justice and righteousness. Everything else will come into play. Yes, I may be what one may call poor in a certain sense, but I'm very rich. Very endowed. But everybody, could use something. It's not always a material thing. Although it'd be nice, right? So again, that's it. That's chapter 2. And then we're going to go into chapter 3 because that's exactly where I wanted to go. But I did want to go through these so that we can kind of see where we're coming from first. So again, gratitude and grand rising. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines Unchained for more information or alternative information, past, present, and future. And it's not just from me, but from others. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care.